Hey guys, before I get into this video, I just want to put a disclaimer that this is what works for me with Uber Eats, but Uber Eats and any food delivery app, it varies based on a lot of factors. So a huge thing, in my opinion, is your location. Every city's different. Whether you live in a city or a suburb, it's going to affect how busy it is. So in my area, this is what has been working for me. There's things that you can definitely apply to other areas, but just keep that in mind when you're watching this video, or anybody else who does this type of thing. It is something you have to keep in mind, that it does depend on a lot of different things. So this is how I make $700 a week using Uber Eats. I don't do this every week. It really just depends if I have the time, if I want to work that much, if I need to work that much. It depends on that for me. So basically, I have to set the goal in my mind. Okay, I want to make $700 this week. So if I want to do it where I have days off, at least 1 or 2 days off, I need to make at least $100 a day. Most likely more. I mean, if you're going to do less than 7 days a week, you have to make more than $100. So a couple days you might have to make 150, 120. That's the daily goal. So the first thing that I do, I only work during peak hours. In my experience, peak hours anywhere from 10 o'clock in the morning until 2 p.m. That's when everyone's getting breakfast, lunch, especially during the week. You know, people are working, they're ordering food at work. That's a really, really busy time. Sometimes even 9 o'clock in the morning, I've been pretty busy, but I would say between 10 and 2 p.m. that's the busiest. And then you can keep working after that. It's just the deliveries, it's not as busy, it's not as consistent. So if you want to take a break, if you have some things to do, I would definitely take a break during that time. And rush hour traffic kind of starts to pick up at that time too, so it's like, it's a pain to sit in that. So I personally like to take a break during that time. And then you want to work the dinner rush. So that can be anywhere from 6 to 10 p.m. You could start at 5, but I would say around 6 is when it starts to get busier. That's when most people are leaving work. They're going home from work. Some people are ordering food to their office. They're late in the office. I've done a lot of different deliveries at that hour. So if you really want to meet that goal in a certain amount of time, I would say work during those peak hours. And make sure you eat and you have like water bottles, juice with you, snacks, so like you can keep working during those I guess you can call them shifts, those chunks of time, without taking too many breaks. Because I know for me, I get really hungry. You're working with food, it just makes me really hungry, so I try to eat before or during my breaks, or just carry some stuff with me so that I can really I can take every delivery when it's busy. The next thing that you want to do, you want to find, I call it a hub. So when you're not doing a delivery, or when you're about to start your day, where you literally park the car to wait for requests, or if you finish a trip and you didn't get another request, like where you can always go back to. So you know it's busy, you're always going to get work from there. So I do this mainly in Greenwich and Stamford, Connecticut. I've done different parts of the state, and I found that this is the best part. This is the busiest. I get the best tips. It's really good around here. I've had a good experience. I would say second place in Connecticut is Hartford. Hartford was pretty good too. But I relocated down here, and it's been working really well for me. I mainly stay in Greenwich, but I do get pulled to Stamford too. I like Greenwich a little bit better because it's more suburban. So you pick up the food, and because a lot of it goes to the suburbs, the rides are longer, so you make more per ride. So based on your area, you want to find that sweet spot, that area where you're gonna get a lot of requests. So usually you need to be close to a restaurant. So find like a strip mall, or like a busy street where there's a lot of restaurants, and find a parking lot or somewhere where you can just kind of park and hang out and be okay. And you're gonna have more than one spot. I have like a main one, and then I have a few other ones. If I get pulled further out and I don't want to drive all the way back, I have a few other spots where I have good luck getting rides. So play around with it. You know, it's going to take time to figure that out, but it's just really good to have that spot to always go back to, where you can say, okay, no matter what, I'm always going to get a ride here. And you might have to wait. You know, the reality is some days they're just not that busy. So, you know, that happens. So if you don't want to take any days off and you want it to be a little more spread out, say you want to work 7 days and make $100 a day, you can do that. It's just nice to have a day off. But, you know, for some reason, if you can't do it in less time, or you just want it to be more spread out, you can also do it that way. So again, you'd only have to make 100 a day, which is definitely possible, and it's definitely possible to make more. The thing is, as I've said in other videos, you can make as much money as you want. Every day when I work, I'm like, okay, I want to make 50, I want to make 100, and I will work as long as it takes until I make that goal. Now, some days you might get lucky, it'll take a few hours. Some days it might be slow and it's going to take longer, but you can reach your goals. So there aren't really any crazy tricks. There's no like magic weapon to get you to make $700 a week with Uber Eats. These are just my tips. This is what works for me. Basically, just set the goal, figure out how long you want it to take to meet that goal. Work during peak hours. That just makes a huge difference. You can totally work the whole day, but like, to make the most of your time and to make more in less time, work during the peak hours. I'm telling you, it makes all the difference. Find your hubs. Just find those main spots where you can sit and get rides. So that can also save you time. It definitely needs to be a full-time thing if you want to make that amount of money or higher in a week. I would say on average anywhere between 30 and 40 hours. For me, that's how long it took to make that. Yeah, it varies. It definitely varies, but I've definitely been able to do it. Again, I don't do this every week, but I have done it a lot. Usually my weekly amount is anywhere between 500 and 700. It just depends how much I work and what else I have going on, because I do have other jobs. But those are my tips and tricks. I hope that works out for you guys. Thank you for your support as always. Thank you. If anyone's used my codes, I really appreciate it, and I hope it's working out for you. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below and I'll try to get back to you. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.